Hi everyone. Who's seen the movie Finding Nemo? Great, most of you. But in case, it's about a juvenile anemonefish who's happily living at home with mom and dad on the Great Barrier Reef when all of a sudden he's snatched up by evil aquarium collectors. Great movie, right? But as much as I love that story, Disney didn't get it completely right. Yes, it's true that anemonefish are collected for the aquarium trade, but they don't usually live at home with mom and dad. And they don't do this for a very good reason. They need to avoid inbreeding, which means mating with your own relatives. And who can blame them, right? This is something that most species, including us, try to avoid. Not just because it seems a little creepy, but because it can wreak havoc on your gene pool, spread genetic mutations, and ultimately lead you on a path to extinction. But the problem for anemonefish is they don't have a lot of choice about who they mate with because they have to stay in the shelter of their home anemone to survive. So they can't go off in search of a fairy tale romance and instead are just stuck breeding with the fish living in their anemone. So you can imagine it's very important for them to go off and leave their parents behind at some stage in their lives. And they do this. Right after they hatch from the egg, they leave the reef behind and swim around in the open ocean for about 1 to 2 weeks. And during that time, we know they can travel far away from home. So imagine my surprise when I discovered, using a genetic DNA matching technique called parentage analysis, that juvenile anemonefish on the Great Barrier Reef, on the Keppel Islands, are actually returning back to live with their parents. Now, we've been studying these fish all around the world for a number of years, and this is the first time we've actually seen this happening in real life, despite what Disney would have you believe. So why here? Why now? Well, I suspect that because of habitat loss, these fish have nowhere else to go. These islands are located in the southern Great Barrier Reef, right offshore from the Fitzroy River. This is the largest catchment that discharges into the GBR, and there have been repeated major flooding events across the past decade or so. And these floodwaters not only destroy people's homes, they destroy anemonefish homes as well. I've searched high and low across the region and found less than 50 of these homes left for the fish. And so that's a really small population. And when you're living in such a small town, chances are you'll be bumping into and potentially mating with your relatives. Thank you.